What is the process of restructuring business? Advice from an operations consultant. Most people are aware of restructuring a business, but most do not know what restructuring a company is. For that, they must consult an operation consultant to make doubts clear in their minds to gain accurate knowledge so that they will not face difficulties in their work. But first, if you are new here, consider subscribing to this channel to continue receiving great weekly videos on consulting. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you get informed every time I publish a new video. Witold Kowalski, a specialist in organizational culture and one of Expert 360's multitudes of leading management consulting experts, brings readers this expertise. Several enormous worldwide firms are analog to massive oil platforms on the high seas. It is tough to rapidly adjust its destructive path and prevent colliding with items in their path or responding appropriately to unpredictable economic conditions. As a result, major corporations tend to get into a rut, accumulate organizational flab, and continue to play these games that have allowed them to build within history. Furthermore, the worldwide consumer demands motivation at such a rapid pace as firms may not afford regular activities. Therefore, organizations should have robust organizational transformation processes to play important functions inside the marketplace or even survive. Organizational restructuring is a procedure that can solve an organization's unacceptable power structure with an ever-changing marketplace. It should be founded on proper counseling and creativity, or it might be a crisis unit to unanticipated events. It's no surprise that even a corporate reorganization could go disastrously wrong if sufficient preparation isn't put in place. Indeed, this is not unusual for top management to reorganize its entire agency on papers only with cursory participation from human resources. Downsizing, downsloping, and leveraged buyouts are also the three kinds of a restructuring strategy. Downsizing is indeed a drop in the number of people and, in certain cases, the number of industry divisions within a firm. Nevertheless, the mix of companies throughout the company may not alter due to downsizing. Downscoping involves eliminating operations unconnected to a company's business units through divestment, spin-off, or other means. It has a greater positive impact on corporate profitability than shrinking. A leveraged buyout is a reorganization method in which a foreign government purchases all of a firm's profits in time to capture the company's private. When a venture capital firm finishes such transactions, a targeted business's shares are not immediately publicly listed. Whatever the motivations for modifying company organizational structure, include these phases in the corporate reorganization process. Begin using the corporate goals. Strategies are all about gaining a long-term market edge by concentrating on essential objectives. The procedure might be printed on a slip of paper that the board of directors of a firm has reference to, or it could be a plain pattern that everyone and each employee must follow. The strategy of organizational change must be founded in the business model. Consultants should use a strategic leadership approach. However, people might end up in the wrong spot if the hard challenge isn't visible on the landscape. Describing the exact organizational structure, strengths, and flaws. With a goal in mind, assess wherever the organizational structure is underperforming to fulfill business goals or succeed. Build an executive board if people haven't already to gain a bird's eye view of the firm's existing organization. Gathering comments ought to be a component of the org architecture assessment process. So too, several values are set in reorganization before considering individuals impacted by individual departments and corporate restructure programs. The companies constantly have valuable insights into what is not functioning and what people must keep doing. It is indeed up to them to collect these thoughts and incorporate them into the corporate restructuring. It is also essential to attend relative parties during the reorganization of strategic planning and rely largely on human resources. If users work in human resources, they must remember to explain any intricacies or financial distress that require specific permission and attention. Establish contact within your organization. It doesn't require much more to build a strong bond among company staff during business reorganization, but this can re-establish confidence and a solid connection. They considered that one of the primary effects of poor mood and poor performance is a lack of regard and acknowledgement. Therefore, they might reconnect with them by praising them for excellent work, vital for the organization excursions, or just strolling the all-around workplace and contacting people, instead of staying at the station and waiting for both of them to come in person, or through managing all communication. In addition, by making continuous evaluations and bonuses when they have been merited, the constant review would inspire them to work harder to achieve their goals. Becoming proactive versus reactionary. Industry members are characterized for their proactive attitude to restructuring. It is a method of altering a competition's regulations. Leading companies not only observe and also shape market dynamics. A new plan is essential in every marketplace, just as it is in battle. All legendary CEOs and top generals are still ready to reorganize institutions to deal with unexpected circumstances. A quick response to restructuring is an adjustment to the activities of leading companies or changes in the marketplace, which would be a technique that frequently harms the bank status of every business. Proactive businesses usually act rather soon, therefore it is preferable to perform later instead of never. Thinking about the possibilities and initiate a unique framework. It's indeed time to rebuild the organizational model by reorganizing the issues with the new corporate organization culture, getting input from staff and stakeholder groups, and considering all of the current types of jobs are the main procedures provided by consultancy officers. A new initiative should incorporate the following elements. Vertically and horizontally, power boundaries. An indicator of the company will make official choices in the department. Employee characteristics such as talents and expertise. The defining and allocation of processes within the company, as well as the linkages among these activities. The easiest method to see the design and interconnections of the new building as they progress over possibilities during the business reorganization study is to build an executive board. People do not undertake a corporate reorganization without even a picture to help workers understand the plan of action and maintain all stakeholders on the very same level. Suggestions for improving the economic restructuring process. Assess the problems. If people are in a significant economic meltdown mindset, individuals may be inclined to blow people up immediately. Nevertheless, it is essential to approach with clarity and caution. It is important to contact a process improvement expert to assist the strategy via the reconstruction process before overhauling the entire strategy and organizational structures. In addition, this professional may help users examine the problem objectively and provide alternatives. Rethink one's objectives. If users initially began off, users could have thought of accomplishment as having a lot of money. They're just trying to stay in business currently, being willing to take a chance when they begin the economic restructuring process. The institution's business model as well as its objectives must change. Most businesses do not have established strengths to protect themselves from just an economic downturn or extreme changes in their niche market. As a result, new technologies, assets and policies should be employed to escape this catastrophe. These may include reduce the size of the organization, departmental reorganization, remodeling the organization culture. Like the upper management, workers and shareholders, there'll be dynamic responses who might expect to provide an open and truthful answer regarding the future. It is essential to maintain clear and constant service delivery to the public that everybody knows the steps to be performed. Reduce the size of your organization. Changing the organizational structure. The extent of the reconstruction process may vary significantly. There are organizational transformation attempts that have to require fast durations and others that last for decades. A one-size-fits-all strategy can be disastrous. The fundamental phases of the reconstruction procedure are outlined with the help of an operation management consultant. The reorganization method is given as just a process. Just after the testing process is completed and after several rounds, information could adopt complete reformation. In truth, this is not a procedure with such a predefined endpoint, but rather a series of endless progress games. Organizational reorganization. Corporate reorganization is a continuous improvement that originates from the adoption of an organizational resource principle, and the comprehensive concrete procedures that follow act as a blueprint for brief restructuring efforts. Regardless of market, the company has the motivation for contemplating a corporate reorganization. There are numerous advantages to doing so. Economies of scale and improved performance. If the reorganization involves the consolidation of many firms, businesses may take advantage of the low regulatory costs, such as audited reports or VAT reports. It could also result in lower admin expenses. Important implications and key points. Whenever a corporation undergoes restructure, it undertakes major changes based on accounting organization, usually under financial difficulties. Businesses may indeed reorganize to prepare for a purchase, acquisition, merging, shift in overarching aims, or sharing important information. Following a restructure process, the business employees must be easier and much more economically responsible. A firm should approach a firm reorganization without tact, plan and vision. Preparation and communications are essential if they want to stir up the entire current work routines and procedures. Conclusion. The expert always acted like a major competitor, rapidly adjusting their structure to help people better than competitors. Reorganization is vital for any corporation to react to different market trends or go to the following. If finished properly, it might benefit the company. You should always consider consultants' advice for more productive results. If you like the video, give us a like to make more videos like this one and tell us in the comments section below what type of videos you want. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more weekly videos.